Welcome back to FM Story, and it's time to begin a new save. We're off to Lisbon to take over in charge of Sporting Lisbon, following on in a similar vein to Athletic Club Save, another club with a really good youth academy. Obviously, we will be expected to be up there challenging alongside Porto and Benfica for the title. So we're beginning at the current. We're beginning at the beginning of the current season with the winter update in place. So we have taken over at Sporting on a 3-year deal. They are concerned that we lack the reputation of a title specialist, which is an interesting starting point. We are predicted to finish third, 3.5-star reputation. Hugo Viana as director of football. Last season we finished second. We won the Allianz Cup. We're in the group stage of the Champions League. 52,000-seater stadium. Interesting that it's the Academia Cristiano Ronaldo. 6.5 million in the transfer budget. We might be looking to bring in a player or two to start the season, but probably nothing massive, no major whole-scale changes, I don't think. So the suggested formation in the best 11's a back three with 2 defensive midfielders and then a front three. What we'll probably end up playing is we'll probably start with something similar like that, but we'll probably also look at a 4-2-3-1 like we had at Athletic Club in that save, just to give us a bit of a different option. So the board want us to play attacking football, develop players using the club's youth system, sign players under the age of 23 for the first team. All sounds good. They want us to increase commercial revenue, sign young players to develop for profit. That's fine, although it is a bit of a shame to sign good players and then sell them on, but we'll do what we can and obviously work within the wage budget. For the current season, they want us to challenge for the title, challenge for the Taça de Portugal, be competitive in the Champions League, and work towards developing the best youth system in the country. In the rest of the 5 years, so the second year, they want us to work towards winning the title and work towards developing the best youth system in the country. The third season, where our contract ends, they still want to be working towards winning the title and work towards developing the best youth system in the country. And then at the end of the 4th season, they want to win the title. And at the end of the 5th season, they want to continue winning the title and developing the best youth system in the country. So there's a little bit of breathing room to if we don't get off to a particularly brilliant start, in that we're only expected to be competitive this season and not win the title. But obviously we want to get off to a flying start. And as far as the supporters are concerned, they want us to play attacking football, develop players using the club's youth system, qualify for the Champions League, become the most reputable team in Portugal, and be competitive against Benfica and Porto. So that suggests that the fans don't think that we are actually better than Benfica and Porto, because it's just be competitive against them and not finish above them in the league. But we'll give it our go in the first season. We've made it to the beginning of the season. We're going to open up with a game at home to Vitoria, Guimaraes. We've not done much in the transfer market. The only signing that we've made in addition to the players that are already here is, when we first looked at the squad, there was a distinct lack of centre forwards. So we've signed Marcus Leonardo for an initial 5 million with some instalments on top. So hopefully we can develop him. Hopefully he won't need to be starting. Although Paulinho picked up an injury during pre-season. He was our only other out-and-out centre forward that was in the first team squad to begin with. As far as the preview goes for the season, we're currently predicted to fit. The media prediction is that we're going to finish third. We do have 2 players in the team, in the media dream 11. We've got Matthias Reis, who's probably going to play in the left of the 3 centre halves, and we've got Pedro Goncalves, who's probably going to start in the inside forward on the left position. Obviously, it's going to take a little while as we get into the season to work out whether whether the formation is going to work or whether we need to change a few things up. So this is the team we've picked for our opening game. We have Antonio Adan in goal and also taking over the captaincy with Coates being out injured. We've got a back three with Inacio Diamande, who looks very promising for 18, and Matthias Rice as the back three. We've got Goncalo Estevez playing right wing back, who has been subject to quite a few bids so far from Man United and Newcastle in particular during the summer. We've got Nuno Santos as the left wing back. The two in midfield, we've got Ugarte and Morita. And then we've got a front three of Marcus Edwards, Pedro Goncalves and Paulinho. Just didn't want to throw Marcus Leonardo straight into things. We've got Trincao on the bench if we need to change things. Jerison just will be in and about the team soon, but he's only fit enough to play 45 minutes. And it's going to be important that we get off to a good start because Porto, Benfica and Braga have all won on the opening day of the season so far. Nuno Santos with the corner. I've hit it clear as far as the edge of the box. Marcus Edwards. Oh, he's hit the bar. Oh, that would have been a great start. All in all, a pretty dull first half. We've not done badly, but we need to take a chance or two. We need to at least get a goal. But it seems to be working in terms of keeping us. Formation seems to be working in terms of keeping us tight at the back. Just need to do something. We need to try and get Pedro Goncalves into the game somehow. And I think we might bring Marcus Leonardo on for the second half, just with Paulinho having been out for a bit of pre-season, just because he was struggling a bit with injuries and brought Soteris on. Right, Morita on the edge of our own area. Can we break? Looked for Marcus Leonardo. Brilliant. Exactly what we needed. Exactly what he needed on his first game. Morita did well to bring it clear. And then acres of space for him to put that pass into. Takes a touch. And then puts it past the keeper. Brilliant stuff. And it's Goncalo Estevez down the right hand side. Morita into Marcus Edwards. Of course, there's another good save from the keeper. Goncalves with another corner. It comes only as far as Nuno Santos this time. Inacio finds Pedro Goncalves. What a finish that is. 2-0. Brilliant stuff. It's a lovely finish. Bends it into the top corner. And all in all, that second half is much more like what we want to see. Lots of chances created, getting them on target. We've taken a couple of goals. I think it may be that we move Goncalves in to that attacking midfield role, just slightly offset there. And I think there's a very good chance that Marcus Leonardo is going to find himself in the starting 11 for the next game. But all in all, things are going well. Following on from the opening day victory against Vitoria Guimaraes, we started the season pretty well. Unfortunately, we have lost our last 3 games in all competitions. Given that we were drawn in the Champions League against Liverpool and Bayern Munich, I would have expected to have lost 2 of those 3 games, but we did suffer a really bad defeat in the league as well in our most recent game. We're approaching the end of September. We've got the last, well, we're actually in the middle of September, but it's the last game of the month coming up, which is a home game against Casa. The second game of the season, we went away to Aruca, who'd won 3-0 on the opening day of the season. We got off to a pretty quick start. Gonzalo Inacio scoring a header from a free kick. Marcus Leonardo getting his first start, added a second a minute later. So we're 2-0 up after 10 minutes. Inacio added another header. This time from a corner, just after the half hour to put us 3-0 up, and we went 4-0 up when Pedro Goncalves added a fourth just before half time. It enabled us to rest a few players in the second half. Also I think Erika can probably be slightly hard done to, in that we scored 5 with 4 shots on target and only next year 1.16. But we never really looked in any kind of danger at the back, and we were pretty comfortable and a pretty deserved victory. We were then at home to Estoril and played really well defensively, really solid at the back. We created a load of chances and just couldn't get enough shots on target. And in the end, just couldn't score. We then went away to Vizela, and the first half looked like it was going to be another game like the game against Estoril where we struggled to score. We did actually at half-time change the formation away from the 3 at the back and went with the 4-2-3-1 for a quarter of an hour and managed to get ourselves 2-0 up. Marcus Leonardo and Goncalvo Esteves scoring on the overlap from right wing back. We then went back to the 3 at the back, and Marcus Leonardo added another couple of goals to complete his hat-trick. Comfortable performance. They had a few chances late on, but really a deserved 4-1 victory. We then started September with a game against Chavez at home, and it was a pretty comfortable performance. We were 2-0 at half-time, goals from Marcus Leonardo and Fernando Trincao. Marcus Edwards came off the bench and added a couple in the second half. But a really comfortable performance, 4-1 victory. And at this point, everything was looking great. We then went away to Anfield in the first Champions League game and were pretty much blown out of the water. It looks as though this formation, or at least the option that we've been playing in the league, isn't going to work against big teams, especially away from home. We gave up far too many chances. We didn't create anything. And Marcus Edwards was sent off for a wild lunge as well, which didn't particularly help. And we went down to a 5-0 loss that, I mean, obviously probably expecting a loss going into that game, but it wasn't a particularly good performance anyway. We then went away to Portimonense in the league and just were not really on our game. Of the league games we've played this season, it was similar in the attacking third of the pitch to how we played against Estoril, but we weren't brilliant defensively either. They took the lead just after the half hour, and we ended up throwing everyone forward. And Nuno Santos had a goal disallowed late on, but really, we didn't deserve anything from this game either. And then we were at home to BWIN Munich in our most recent game in the Champions League. We put in a bit better of a performance than we did against Liverpool, but the formation doesn't seem to work against big teams, or at least against big teams in the Champions League. They had a penalty very early on, which the keeper saved. And then they took the lead late on, and just as we were about to start throwing people forward to try and get back into the game, Fernando Trincao picked up his second yellow card. He was probably only starting because Marcus Edwards was suspended, having got sent off against Liverpool. So somehow, in the 2 games that we've played in the Champions League, our wide right player has been sent off in both of them. Obviously, we've got 2 of the tougher games in the Champions League out the way. Given that we drew Liverpool and BWIN Munich, I think the expectation was, from that point onwards, that we're playing for third, and it's to drop down into the Europa League at that stage. So, coming up in October, we've got a couple of big games back to back against Ferencváros in the Champions League. There isn't actually even a league game in between the two. So that's going to be a big week, really, between those 2 games in terms of making sure that we at least finish third in the group and drop down into the Europa League. I mean, as far as the Champions League is concerned, obviously we're bottom of the group, but we've got the same I think actually we're probably just bottom of the group on alphabetical order, because Ferencváros have got a -6 goal difference as well. So really, those two games are going to be important. We need to get something out of both of those games, just to stand us in good stead of finishing third in the group before we have to play Liverpool and Bayern Munich again. As far as the league's concerned, we're sat in fourth. We were sat in second prior to losing against Portimonense. The only unbeaten team so far in the league is Braga, who've won 6 from 6, which did include a victory, I think, over Porto. Yeah. So Braga have beaten Porto. Porto have played a game more. So if Benfica and us win our games in hand, we would go above them. And in terms of where everything is, like all the hopes this season are to finish in the Champions League. So we've got to hope that Braga slip up somewhere on the line. But I mean, Abel Ruiz has been brilliant for them so far. It's 10 goals, well in front in terms of the average rating. Yuri Medeiros is top of the assists, but Marcos Leonardo second in goals scored, Pedro Goncalves second in assists. Really, we've just got to kind of try and push on and pick up victories. Obviously, it looks like this next game is going to be a tough one because Casa sat in 6th with 11 points from 6 games. We've got to go out and put in a performance that we haven't done in the last 3 games, and try and pick up a result here. Going into this home game against Casa, we've slightly moved around the back 3 in the Diamante's going back into the middle where he started the season, and Coates and Inacio are playing right and left sided centre halves. Ricardo Esgaio's coming in for his first start of the season just to give Goncalves a bit of a rest. And Matheus Reis is playing at left wing back, with Nuno Santos just dropping to the bench just to give him a bit of a rest as well. Just because it's a sort of high energy position. Hopefully we can stick in a decent performance. One of the things that we didn't mention is on deadline day we did pick up Sivert Mansverk from Molde. So just to add a bit more depth into the squad as well. Esgaio bringing it forward into Morita, into Goncalves, onto Matheus Reis, who's going to go down the outside. Can he get the cross in? Pulls it back to Marcus Edwards. We're going backwards now. Morita, what a ball to find Esgaio, and they've cleared the cross. Morita driving forward, finds Rice. Leonardo scores, but I think he's offside. Oh, he's not. We did well there. We kept the ball. When they cleared it, we made sure we picked up the loose ball and kept them penned in. Rice squares it. Leonardo, middle of the goal, and volleys past the keeper. Oh my God. That is just terrible. I mean, no one goes back in with him. It's a really weak cross that the keeper parries and it hits their player and goes in. We're just inviting them onto us now. What? None of their players were actually in the box. I give up. Thank God for that. I mean, there was literally, when that penalty is given, not a single one of their players was in the box. I mean, this basically seems to be our first attack since we scored. And it doesn't look like it's going to come to an awful lot. Diamante out to Esgaio. Got lucky there, very, very lucky. And Pedro Goncalves turns it home. I mean, like, We couldn't have got any luckier than that. And he couldn't really miss from that close in. Overall, we're winning 2-1, but I don't quite know how. Obviously they missed the penalty, but after we scored the first goal, it seemed to be all them. They're just not good enough. Right, Diamande to Coates, Ugarte. What a ball. Oh, Max Leonardo gets a second. It looked like it was a wonderful ball from Ugarte. When he gets it here, spread the ball in behind there, ball back for Esgaio, first time cross. Another first time volley finish in the middle of the goal from Marcus Leonardo. Right, Nuno Santos with a free kick. Oh, he's hit the bar. The keeper didn't move. It was the keeper's side and he just stood there. All in all, a pretty decent performance. And well, certainly the second half was a lot better. We still gave up too many chances than I would like, but we restricted them to that one goal. It may be that now the time's come to try and see whether this 4-2-3-1 is the way to go. And that's the end of this episode. That victory over Casa has taken us temporarily to second in the league, at least until Benfica play the game in hand that they've got now. October's going to be a big month. Obviously, we've got big games coming up against Ferencváros in the Champions League. We've got the away game against Bayern Munich coming up. And obviously, November, everyone disappears away for the World Cup, so we'll have to see what players we've got left to go into the Allianz Cup group stages as well. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.